Hello, I'm Alexandra Wenman and I'm the editor of Prediction magazine, and today we have a really special guest that we're going to be talking to. She is one of the founders of Angelic Reiki, and she also teaches two fabulous new workshops called The Golden Heart of the Merkaba and the New Shambhala. Christine Kaur, welcome. Do you want to come and join me?
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Really nice to speak to you today.
Thank you.
You look fabulous in your yellow. Because a lot of our readers might know that I teach Angelic Reiki, and I love it. I'd always talk about it in the magazine. So this is really exciting that we've got Christine here to speak to us today. Can you tell our viewers exactly what is Angelic Reiki and what is the purpose of Angelic Reiki?
Right. Angelic Reiki was given at a very special time, at a very specific time, and for some very specific reasons. Everything has its season, everything has its purpose, and everything is in its perfect timing and fulfilling its mission, if you like. And Reiki has played an amazing part on this planet for tens of years now, since Dr. Usui brought an awareness at the beginning of last century now. That sounds a long time ago. A new perspective was absolutely brought, a new perspective on angels, on what is healing and the healing process, where are we going, why are we going, and all the rest of it. And it is totally complemented and supported by the other two workshops that you mentioned. And that information came through to Kevin and myself before we were given the parts of Angelic Reiki. Kevin and I worked together for quite a few years, 5-6 years, spiritually, before I went travelling, and he dedicated the whole of that year to being guided by the Archangel Metatron and the Master Dralco to actually formulate and write down the process, the attunements, the cleanses before the attunements, and all the different healing modalities, all different healing methods.
And that was around 2002, was
2002, 2003.
And it's a very specific process, isn't it? Do you want to?
Yeah. I believe that there is the male and female balance, and the male part is structure. And it is when what Kevin brought was great wisdom from past life memory, from work he'd done this lifetime, and he brought the structure. And it is, as you say, a very specific structure based on what Kevin and I always called ancient wisdom. And in many ways, Angelic Reiki does not fit with what I call New Age philosophy.
No, yeah.
That can be a bit of a shock when you first come into it, because you think it's to do with Reiki and angels as we think of them, and in a way it's not. It's about another paradigm.
Yeah.
That was its purpose, to bring in a new paradigm.
Because it's not strictly speaking, just for the people viewing this, it's not a Reiki at all, really, is it? It's much more to it. It's kind of
great idea, because one has to question what is Reiki, what are angels, for me, when I asked that question, it was the work that I'd done on sacred geometry and the Merkaba that gave me the answer.
Yeah.
Because we've just been, you and I have just been sharing this experience of the Golden Heart Merkaba creation, philosophy and work, and we see that everything, the male aspect, is a specific structure, and there's two layers to the Reiki symbols in a way. There's that has the names that come out of the Japanese language, and there's those that do not.
Yeah.
Those that do not are sacred geometry. They are representing the archetypes. They are timeless. And there's something that the wisdom of Dr. Usui brought through and reawakened awakened a knowing of. They are ancient. They're timeless. So if we see those parts of the Reiki symbols, they're not Reiki. Well, they are Reiki in that it is life energy.
Yeah.
But it's not this life energy or that life energy or Reiki life energy or Usui life energy. It's the emanation of the divine.
Yeah.
The source of divine energy. Those Reiki symbols that are based on the Japanese language, one of the things about that, and I've actually taught Shambhala Reiki in Japan, so I've got to get it. It's like, what, you know? And yes, as I taught from my understanding, and the Japanese people shared their knowledge, then what they are describing are archetypes.
Yeah.
And the thing is about that root of language that is like the Chinese, the Japanese, that is pictures, then they are also bringing a whole picture. That's what just comes to me. They're bringing a whole picture, an archetype of creation.
Yeah.
So if we break the box of what we've always thought Reiki is,
Not just a symbol, it's not... Yeah.
it is, well, how I see the Reiki symbols working is that an attunement is an interface between the sacred truths, the divine shapes. If we take chakra, the masculine lines, the right angle, which is how we do a dimensional shift, and the spiral of eternity and feminine energy. That is that archetype. So when that as a symbol, bringing with it all of that, is imprinted on our consciousness, it brings us our consciousness more in line with the divine truths, and that allows a change in our consciousness and an opening to bring in other energies as well. This is why we have Karuna, and I mean, you can have actually an infinite number of Reikis, because the Reiki symbols are the mechanism to change consciousness. And that's why they were ever brought and used on Earth. And their roots, as I understand it, is from Atlantis. And it's a time when there was a kind of spiritual hierarchy in Atlantis. And those that had been disempowered needed a way of quickly taking their own power again. And yes, that's my belief of the root of that is the divine design behind the use of symbols to change consciousness.
And at this time on the planet, this is so important, isn't it? So do you believe Angelic Reiki specifically came through at this time to support our shifts in consciousness?
As we have shared in the workshop that we've just done, spirit, whatever we want to say, is spirit, ascended masters, galactic masters, angelic, etc., are in awe of what we are doing. We talked about the fact that those on a spiritual path, dedicating themselves to awakening a knowing of the divine within, etc., used to live separate from society. They used to go and take vows and live in a monastic culture, whether this was a Christian monastery, whatever,
or a cave in the mountains,
yes, in the Himalayas, etc., a Tibetan monastery, etc. There was that possibility to take ourselves out of the challenges of society and just have that great privilege of being totally focused on that purpose. We are doing it and living normal lives, and that is demanded by the changes that are happening on the earth at the moment. Spirit can't just be done in monasteries or mountains. It has to be lived here, and all of us that are taking on that challenge, and everybody listening that's taking on this challenge of living as highly as we can a spiritual life and staying in society, in relationship, in normal jobs, and doing a task, I believe, that's actually never been taken on board before. And it's tremendously challenging, tremendously rewarding, and we need and Angelic Reiki has come to support us in that process.
And do you find that there's a specific type of person that is being drawn to angelic Reiki, or I mean, obviously anybody can come and do it because it's there to support everybody. But do you tend to find that people are at a certain level already before they come, or?
I can't answer that because that would need me to actually judge.
Yeah.
And but it's also we not but it is that it's impossible. There are people, many people where they may come on a workshop and the personality might have an assessment, but the divine spark is in everyone. The draw, the invitation to find the divine. But actually, very interesting you should ask that question, because the people who find angelic Reiki most challenging are those that have been very steeped in New Age philosophy. Because New Age philosophy has brought forward an idea of angels and ascended masters as beings separate from us that are going to help. The challenge is this master. And I can see parallels between any philosophy or religion that puts forwards that we need somebody to be the mediator between us and the divine.
Yeah, and that's happened the world over throughout history, hasn't it? Because you've got people of the church, you couldn't talk to God unless you had a priest, but that's putting an angel or a master in place of the priest almost, isn't it?
I see that certain philosophies, ideas in what I call the New Age have absolutely put that as a paradigm and as an idea that angels are helpful friends with wings. And what's the priest? An helpful friend with more spirituality than you have. That is there, and you see, there is no hierarchy in spirit.
But what is amazing about that piece of knowledge is that angels are part of us, therefore part of you, which completely empowers you.
Absolutely.
Because you are divine,
exactly.
So you're everything is part of you, and you are part of everything.
Yes.
So you invoke the angels. So you're creating them. So you're creating them.
Yeah, and an angelic Reiki healing is to embrace if you were coming for healing, then my purpose would not be to heal, to sort, to and that is so wonderful, because I don't have to take any responsibility. I don't have to get my hand positions right, call in the right symbol or anything. Absolutely, it is simply me holding a space that would bathe you in the presence of the angelic kingdom of light, within the truth of the divine, as an invitation for you to witness and embrace the truth of your own divinity.
It's just amazing. And that is it. That's as simple as it gets, isn't it? It's amazing. I just want to, because obviously this leads us into the other workshops that you are teaching. For our viewers, I've just taken, almost finished a 7-day amazing workshop with Christine, which has blown my mind. And I mean, this is really it. It's answered so many questions. It's everything, and it's the Golden Heart Merkaba workshop. So I'm going to hand over to Christine to let us know what this is all about. But I'm telling you, if you want the answers, I mean, angels are mathematically provable people. I mean, seriously. So, Christine, can you tell us a little more about this workshop?
So you're wanting me to talk through 7 days in 2 minutes?
Well, yeah, exactly. Sum it up.
If creation is based on age-old sacred principles, what I call divine law, then if we ask the question, what is that law? And it's very, very simple. Then the knowing of those principles, we actually totally see that everything fulfills that. We talked about that unconditional love actually is a very specific wave, and we know that all feelings, all consciousness is a very specific wavelength, and that is known as the golden mean. It's mathematically, don't let this frighten you,
You can actually go and Google this and you'll find it online.
Yeah. 1 to 0.618 is the ratio, and you are built on that. The heart beats that vibration out. We are provable, we proved it.
Yeah, we proved it in the class.
We are love.
Yeah.
It's not a concept, it's not an idea, it is totally, absolutely what we are.
And as you say, a truth is a truth is a truth. It's true.
And so what we have also is a mind that has been programmed by our parents, by our culture, by our teachers, by our experiences, and all the things that have constructed an ego. And we live that story, and so much of that story will tell us we're not good enough. And perhaps one of the first things that you ever heard, even though you weren't consciously hearing it, was a comparison. If you were the second child in a family, or there was another member of the family who had had a child, the very first thing you may have heard was, Mary sat up before Joe. So-and-so was out of nappies before. The first thing we hear is that you're being compared.
And you hear it
And
at mother's
actually
groups, don't you?
Oh,
You know,
yeah, and
someone's
actually
talking-
you're divinely perfect.
Thanks. Yeah, it's true.
But the first thing you hear, and then yes, and we see another child running faster than we can. We then see another child at school writing better than we can, drawing a picture that the teacher tells us is better than ours. And we are programmed to compare and judge so deeply.
And keep ourselves separate. It's a separation thing again, isn't it?
Yes. When what is actually born is a being that is perfect.
And it's like we spoke about the way plants grow in accordance with there's a mathematical sequence called the Fibonacci sequence, and all plants, though you might not see it, grow according to the sequence, don't they?
Yes.
And then we say that they're growing towards the divine because they're growing up. But actually what is happening is their pattern that they're growing in is forms the that equation of unconditional love, doesn't it?
Yes.
So they're
Yes.
growing. If
Yes.
you look at the
Yes.
wave of
Yes.
how they grow,
Yes.
that wave is getting closer and
Yes.
closer and closer back to the golden mean. So they're growing towards love, which means they're growing towards the divine, and that the pattern's getting closer to that equation. It's mathematically incredible.
Yes. And there's that lovely flower called the sunflower.
Yes.
Not the sunflower. Where the leaves ratchet round so that they're not on top of one another, so they can find as much light as possible. And what is the angle that they turn through each time?
It's a
70
sun's eye view.
That's right.
Sun's eye view.
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
And that angle is 72 degrees, which is the angle of a pentagram. And a pentagram or a pentagon is the internal angle of that. And that is totally mathematically built on the ratio of love. And that's so it's love we need to see the light.
Exactly.
You know? There it is growing in front of us. You
So
know?
when you
And
are
it's
saying
like-
love and light,
Yes.
you are actually.
Yeah,
It's the two combined.
and to see that in spite of the story, in spite of our judgment, we have shown this week that everything, a leaf, a twig, a dog, us, is divinely created in divine perfection. It says in the Bible, and God created everything in his own image, and that is true.
And that is true. And we were talking about how, a leaf, a twig, a piece of paper, planets even, they're not being divinity, and when planets crash into each other and one explodes, they don't turn around and tell the
Why
other
did
one
you
to
do that
wrap
to
off.
me? Don't you
Yeah,
dare.
yeah. How dare you crash into me? So it's only our programming that makes us think that when someone does something wrong, it's wrong, really, isn't it? So, I mean, gosh, you could go into the levels of this so much, but it is fascinating stuff, and it is, if you have the opportunity, you know, to look more into this or do Christine's course, it will blow your mind. It may make you question some things you think you know, but I found that so empowering so far, so amazing. And the other workshop is the new Shambhala. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it fits into this?
Well, actually, you've been telling everybody about that.
Okay, right.
because the essence of Shambhala is that allows us to find heaven on earth. And if we don't judge, just like what you say, and if we can see the divine in everything, hey ho, here it is.
So it's that compassion and that kindness that brings that
to self and to others. Yeah.
Wow.
But also, the other thing that we do in Shambhala, the masculine structure part, is we look at each dimension, and Kevin and I were given a lot of original information about what is each dimension. We say that humanity is going to ascend into the fourth or into the fifth. What is it? What is it? Where is it? How does it work? What's it about? And we cover, and we've found, although this information, well, for me, the work with Shambhala started in about 92, 93, and then we took it to the angelic level in 2005. We were given original information, and we found, for example, that what we perceive to be the spiritual definition of the first dimension absolutely fits with quantum physics.
Amazing.
It is the 0 point field, and for example, this is just an example of how we present the first dimension, and it's experienced as gravity. And gravity is the physical experience of being drawn to the central point, to be drawn to one. Wow. So there we have, we're experiencing that in-breath of Brahma, that desire, that movement that everybody is on, which is being drawn back to the single point, the truth, the now moment, the divine that's in everything.
And what is just so fascinating about it is that spirituality and science are one in the same, people, one in the same. This is amazing. I mean, gosh, imagine the dinner party conversations you can have. I mean, seriously, when your friends go, well, you're just a bit spiritual, aren't you? You're like, I'm very scientific, actually, with it. It's, yes, have to be smart to do it all. But it's amazing, and I mean, it's just like the all-in-one and the one-in-all and everything we want. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's fun.
It's great. It's absolutely
we could sit
great.
here and talk here for a week, couldn't we?
Oh my God.
Better not.
She's got a rule that she does have lunch breaks to herself. Otherwise, I think everyone would be like, but Christine, but what about this? Which is good. But just so that people know and can find out a little bit more information on what you do and you and the courses that you run and what you're all about. She does teach all over the world, by the way, so international woman of mystery. What is the web address and details that people can find you at?
Okay, if you pick out any one of these, there is a link to all three sites. So if I give the Angelic Reiki, we could give any, which one to give. If I give the Angelic Reiki, then there are buttons to all the rest. But so Angelic, my personal site and the international website that gives the information of all the registered teachers around the world is AngelicReikiMagic.com.
And that's all one word, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. AngelicReikiMagic.com. And you can find all information about Christine and her workshops, the other two workshops, and all the teachers around the world. Yeah. So, brilliant. Thanks, Christine. Awesome. Now, Christine is also going to lead us for a treat for you guys. She's going to lead us through a meditation now. So I am going to leave the space and leave this space to Christine, if you bear with us. And thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. Would you like some music or is it okay?
Yes, yes. If you just turn on what's there, that'd be great. Okay. I know the temptation is to kind of keep your eyes open and watch this and watch what I'm doing and all the rest of it. And it is difficult to switch from listening and talking in a very active kind of place. But I do invite you to actually let me go, let this picture go, and allow your eyes to close. So, as we allow our eyes to close, I would like first of all to do a little kind of game. So as you're sat here with your eyes closed, I would like you to picture a pink elephant. Okay. Right, great. Now I'm going to ask you to actually get your hand and point to where that picture is. Just pick out where you actually place that picture. That is the centre of your consciousness. And in my experience, most people actually point to a place in front of them. I'm going to ask you now to change that pink elephant into what represents deep love, unconditional love, great compassion. You might change it into a golden sphere, into a heart, into a star, doesn't matter, into a rose, whatever symbolises total compassion and love. Allow that symbol to take that place. And now, as if the hands of an angel could hold that symbol, take it up over your head, and then, in that place between your shoulder blades, the top of your back, bring it in and place it inside your physical body. And then let the energy of that symbol spread and infuse every part of the physical body. We have been given an idea that the physical body is not quite as spiritual as other things might be. That is not my truth. God is here, divine is here, beauty is here, love is here. And the incredible gift of the physical body is it brings us and anchors us into the now moment. That was the challenge and that you took on before you came into incarnation. And the purpose of incarnation is to bring with you the divinity that you are and bring it into this kingdom, this realm. Your body is made of chemicals. They're all listed on a good bottle of vitamins and minerals. And our purpose is to imbue this kingdom with the divinity that we are, the divinity that we true all are. So what would it be like if that divinity, that symbol of compassion and love that you created and brought into the physical body, was to imbue every cell, molecule, atom, and DNA. Let it infuse your every cell, and in that recognise this as that temple, this as divine. Let it light up every cell of your body and feel that compassion and love, and let it fill the physical body. It is a great service, a great healing, and a beautiful practice to honour this vehicle, to talk to the various organs. There's a lovely story of walking, of the Aborigines walking in the outback, and to heal the feet that get hurt on the strong grasses and spikes and spines and rocks. They talk to their feet and they thank them. And that creates a healing for their feet. So I invite you to honour your presence on earth, to respect and have great joy for everything that this physical human experience brings, without criticism, without judgment. Conscious mind may not believe it, but I promise you, everything is in divine order. It's simply our invitation to not judge and see the bigger picture. How would it be to breathe in the fact that you are divine? How would it be to breathe in the idea that you are already perfect? And to let this love, this symbol of love that you've taken into every cell and molecule of your body, to shine and create an aura of love around you, which will touch everyone you meet simply as a blessing. You are love. Be love. Live in celebration of that. And bringing that love into everyday life, simply take a deeper breath and allow the eyes to open and contact everything you see around you.